The following sports broadcast is a special presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school basketball, featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's high school basketball broadcast is being brought to you by
Miller Honda of Winchester, the Mirius Group at Ameriprise Financial, Parsons Ford, Smallwood Small Insurance, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, the Berkeley County Health Department, Luttrell LC Real Estate Attorney, Mike Folk for Governor, W. Harley Miller Systems, Carpet World, Bechtel Jewelers, Hagerstown Ford, the Brown Funeral Homes, WVU Medicine, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
And now, let's go courtside and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team with today's pregame show.
And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. Welcome back in to Spring Mills High School, where we're ready for boys basketball action as the Spring Mills Cardinals take on the Martinsburg Bulldogs. For Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 Sports, I'm Matt Miller along with Matt Crawford. We've got John Alderton running our TV 10 camera, Eric Sterick, our engineer, back at the studio. Matt, if the boys game is as good as the girls game, it'll be a treat here tonight, although it's going to be an uphill climb for a very young and inexperienced Spring Mills team that comes in at 6-11, taking on a Martinsburg team coming in at 13-3.
Yeah, 6-11 for Spring Mills, and this is a team that the dynamic has changed this entire season. A bit of a roller coaster year for first-year coach Luke Samples, trying to get the players he wants to buy into what he wants to make this Spring Mills team and this roster different than what it was at the beginning of the season and different than what it was just a few weeks back. Again, getting rid of the players that don't want to buy into the program and keeping the ones that he can build on for the next couple of years. And as you said, a very young team, so it is going to pay dividends in the future. But this year it is a lot of growing pains and an uphill battle for Spring Mills as they are going to try to knock off the 13-3 Dogs tonight.
Well, Spring Mills is perhaps playing their best basketball as of late. Matt, they have won 2 in a row, and 3 of their last 4, they're coming in off of a win on Tuesday of this week, 62-53 against Jefferson. Meanwhile, Martinsburg had a 10-game winning streak snapped on Saturday when they fell at home against St. Maria Goretti, 75-70. Martinsburg has had some time this week to work out the kinks from that one and look to get back into the win column tonight.
And Martinsburg, 2 very competitive basketball games last Friday and Saturday. They were able to do very similar to what we saw in the girls' game just a few minutes ago. Come back late after being down the majority of the ball game at Musselman, at Klein Court. A tough environment to go get a win. A great atmosphere in that one with Martinsburg was, was able to come back and get that 54-50 win. And St. Maria Goretti came in shooting lights out from beyond the arc, hit 5 early in that first quarter. They were averaging just 5 a game, so playing very, very well early on. But once you got into the second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter, it was really back and forth basketball. It was just that quick start for St. Maria Goretti, and unfortunately for the Dogs, they just could not come up with a couple of big baskets late to get the win. But still, coming in just 3 losses in the season at this point in the season, I think Coach Rogers will take that.
Martinsburg with a win already this season against Spring Mills. They met back on the 17th of January, and it was all Martinsburg as they ran away with it, 72-36. Spring Mills trying to see just how much better they have gotten as they host the Bulldogs here tonight. Pre-game brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems. They provide custom integration services for home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio-video distribution, and more. Give them a call, 304-350-1931, or find them online at whmsystems.com. We'll take a 1-minute timeout, come back and continue to preview this matchup, and we'll see what else is going on around the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control 4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. with decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, it certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
And a happy Valentine's Day to everyone who is tuning in for this one. Talk Radio WRNRN TV 10 coverage of high school boys and tonight girls basketball. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Spring Mills hosting Martinsburg. In the girls game, Matt, Martinsburg with a last-second bucket put up and in for Mackenzie Joliffe, and the Dogs get the win 34-32.
Again, we said it as we were closing out that game. They led after a quarter just one time, and that was after the end of the fourth quarter when they got the win 34-32, but it was a case where they hung around. 11-10 after quarter number one, Spring Mills. 6-5 was the scoring edge in the second quarter for Spring Mills. They took a 2-point advantage into the halftime break, 17-15. Both teams scored 8 in quarter number 3. Still a 2-point game going to the fourth and final quarter. And Martinsburg outscored Spring Mills 11-7 in that fourth quarter for the deciding bucket with 4.4 seconds left for Mackenzie Joliffe.
Well, you got to imagine with that win, Martinsburg pretty much will solidify the top seed in the upcoming sectional tournament. Who will be that number 2 seed? You got to imagine it's Musselman. They scored a win yesterday at home against Hedgesville. 38-32 was the final in that one. Washington had a game canceled yesterday against St. James. All right, let's turn our attention to the boys' side. Big matchup going on tonight as Musselman. He is hosting Hedgesville. When you look at where the two teams are, the Hedgesville boys are at 14-3 after a 48-38 win on Tuesday against Washington. The Musselman boys are at 11-6 as they got that 67-65 win against Jefferson on Monday.
Yeah, and that should be a good one. Again, I think for Musselman, they're trying to secure a 3 seed and have the top 3 seeds be from Berkeley County. I think Jefferson is fighting them for that 3 seed right now, and Hedgesville trying to hold on to that 2 seed, because I think if Musselman beats them, I think that makes things very interesting depending on how things go down the stretch. Musselman is still not out of the question to be that 2 seed in the regional rankings, so this becomes a very big Berkeley County matchup tonight.
No doubt about it. Meanwhile, Jefferson is off until Tuesday of next week, and Washington is off tonight after they scored a victory last night, went on the road and defeated Mountain Ridge 62-50, and you've watched some progression for this Washington team throughout the season.
Again, if they're playing a certain team, they have the attributes, the skills, and the size to really be a mismatch nightmare for certain teams, and we've seen that as they came out and they put up 70-plus points in that game against Martinsburg. Martinsburg just happened to have a good night offensively and put up over 100 in that game. But Washington has shown that they can play with the best this year and just still in that second tier of teams, I think, at the end of the day when you look at overall experience and skill.
There you go. That is a look at what is going on around the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. Again, our matchup tonight, Spring Mills hosting Martinsburg. And after this 1-minute timeout, we'll come back and get the keys to the game as we get you ever closer to the opening tip. This is the pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems. Find them online at WHMsystems.com. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNRN TV 10.
Hey, John Orem, I hear you're running for sheriff of Berkeley County. Can you tell me why the community should stand with you?
Sure. You know we're stronger when we stand together, right? When we leave people behind, we suffer. When we work together to solve our problems, we prosper, correct?
True.
I'm for a county that embraces good community values. Let's leave the go-it-alone mentality behind.
The go-it-alone mentality?
Let me explain. A sheriff cannot serve a community effectively without the involvement of the people.
It's time we elect a sheriff that's going to serve our community. John Orem, you have my vote.
Paid for by candidate.
When you're looking for the perfect gift, look no further than L.A. Roberts Jewelers at 146 North Queen Street in downtown Martinsburg. Choose from a huge selection of unique items, from the finest diamonds that make your eyes sparkle to exquisite timepieces, figurines, and collectibles. Buying from L.A. Roberts Jewelers means that you've made the decision to do business with people who've excelled in the industry for more than 100 years. They'll be here tomorrow when you need them, and if you need your jewelry or your watch repaired, they'll do that too. L.A. Roberts in downtown Martinsburg. Old World Jewelers for a new age.
Welcome back into Spring Mills High School. Tonight, the Cardinals entertaining the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. John Alderton running our TV10 camera. Eric Sterick, our studio producer and engineer. Time now for keys to the game. They're brought to you by Luttrell LC. Let Chris Luttrell hand you the keys to your new home for all of your real estate legal needs. Phone 304-267-3050 for Luttrell LC. Matt, let's start with Martinsburg as the visiting team in this one. Keys for the Dogs.
I think for Martinsburg, you got to go back to scoring the way you did. And I don't mean necessarily overall points. I mean who is scoring those points the way that they did the last time they played Spring Mills. 10 players scored in that game. Martinsburg has had 3 straight games where they have not had a bench point at all. So I think a key for the Dogs is going to be not only just to score, because we know they can score, we've seen that all year long, but to make sure you're not relying on just your starting 5, because if you get in that habit, it's going to come back to bite you in the regional tournament, and if you were lucky enough to get to that state tournament, because by the time you get to the state tournament, you're going to have a lot of teams with a lot of depth. For Spring Mills, I think they need to slow everything down. The last time these two teams played, 72-36. Martinsburg, again, Spring Mills is building something. They're just not there yet. So for them to try to keep up and go up and down the floor at the same pace that Martinsburg is, they're not going. That's a losing battle for them. So I think a key to them is to slow down the offense. Take 15, 20, 30 seconds at a time off the clock and try to get a basket and not give Martinsburg back the basketball and allow for quick transition points. And I think those are the 2 keys in this ball game, 1 for each team.
All right, you want some stats to back those things up?
Why not?
Let's do it. We go back to that Spring Mills matchup when these teams met on January 17th, and Martinsburg scored 21 bench points in that victory. The Dogs are averaging just under 14 points off the bench per game, but as you mentioned earlier, haven't had a point off the bench. The starting 5 have scored them all, and it's not like they haven't scored. They scored 100 in one of those and 70 in the other. One game, though, only 54, but they win that one 54-50 over Musselman. Meanwhile, for Spring Mills, Matt, are you ready for this? Since the program had their first season in 2013-14, Martinsburg is 18-0 against the Cardinals and has scored 70 or more points in 13 of those 18 games. In fact, the average score when these teams get together, 73-45. Martinsburg, that's what you're talking about. Spring Mills has to find a way to not let that happen here tonight. Lineups brought to you by Chris Luttrell at Luttrell LC. Locally owned, they know the business, and they're part of the community. You can win every time when it comes to your real estate legal needs by calling Chris Luttrell at 304-267-3050. Let's take a 1-minute timeout. We'll come back, take a look at our starting lineups as we get you ready for all the play-by-play and the opening tip of West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR TV 10.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Back in to Spring Mills High School. The 2 teams wrapping up their warm-ups, making their way back to their respective benches. We are courtside for this one.
You're loving it, aren't you?
I am loving the view, but you got to understand, folks, when you're courtside, you don't always get it from the camera, as John Alderton is high atop the bleachers behind us, but you've got officials to look through. You've got coaches coming off of their benches trying to bark out signals and plays and help out their offenses. And then you've got the officials as well as the players that are underneath the basket and moving around. It can be challenging sometimes to see everything. All right, here we go. Starting lineups ready to be introduced. Starting lineups are brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist after the keys to the game were a service of Chris Luttrell. I may have mixed that up on the way out. D&N, by the way, ready to help you get your vehicle fixed right the first time. Family owned and operated since 1974. Give them a call at 304-267-4078. Let's start with the Martinsburg Bulldogs. They're 13-3, led by head coach Dave Rogers in his 41st season, 778 wins, 223 losses, assisted by Bruce Fowler, Richard Moore, Chris Berg, and Daryl Smith. For the Bulldogs, Dorn Smith, a 6'3 junior, is starting at forward. Telrin Villa is a 6'3 senior forward. Garrett Stobbs, a 6'1 junior guard. Teddy Marshall, a 6'2 senior guard. And Anthony Smith is a 6'1 junior guard. Now for the Spring Mills Cardinals, they're 6-11, but winners of 2 in a row, 3 of their last 4. Led by first-year head coach Luke Samples, assisted by Greg Alfred, Mark Sawyer, and Jason Jones. For Spring Mills, Terrell Moses, a 6'1 senior, is a guard. Malachi Baker, a 6'2 junior, is a forward. David Bitterai is a 6'1 senior guard. Quincy Ray, a 5'10 junior guard. And Kevin Whitener is a 6'4 senior forward. Lineups are brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist, where honesty is their best policy. They specialize in exhaust alignments and tires. Give D&N a call at 304-267-4078. Well, here we go. The national anthem coming before the girls' game, and so we are ready to jump in to this one. Spring Mills in a huddle to our right in the white uniforms, red lettering, that dark blue trim, Cardinals across the front of those jersey tops. Martinsburg breaking their huddle in front of their bench to our left. They'll come out in the black uniforms with the orange lettering and the white trim across the front of those jersey tops. Bulldogs for Martinsburg.
All right, Matt, I don't claim to be a fashion expert. When did it become cool to have the waistband of the gym shorts fold out with the tag out of the back? I know it's been a trend the last couple of years. I just want to know who made the trend and why it's stuck.
I do not know where that began, and I'm not necessarily a fan of it. Looking good. George Nunn with the spin on the ball. He must be a bowler in his spare time. By the way, Martinsburg on the front of those jersey tops. Can't remember if I said Bulldogs or not, but it's Martinsburg written. If you're watching on TV, you can see that.
And know if you messed up or not.
Kevin Whitener in the center circle along with Telrin Villa. Ball is in the air. Tip going into the backcourt where it's run down by Spring Mills' Quincy Ray. And the Cardinals will get the first crack at scoring. They'll shoot at the basket to our left. Terrell Moses controlling the dribble, sending on the near wing to Bitterai. Bitterai coming off a 23-point performance the last time out in that win against Jefferson. Good defense by Martinsburg in the man-to-man. Just left to the top of the key. Wide open, Terrell Moses drains the three-pointer. He comes in averaging 9 a ball game, and he gives Spring Mills the 3-0 lead.
And Matt took about 26 seconds off the clock, slowed it down, set up the offense, and got an open shot. That is how their offense has got to run all night. Take some time off the clock.
Garrett Stobbs dribbling on that far side, guarded by Bitterai, brings it out towards that center circle. Bitterai pokes it away and gets the steal. Martinsburg back in that transition defense, and Spring Mills will set up the offense. Bitterai giving it off on the left side, but stolen. That pass knocked away by Marshall, picked up by Anthony Smith. Back to Marshall as he drives down the right side of the lane. He'll leg it up and in, and it's a 3-2 Spring Mills lead. Good job, Teddy Marshall. He got into the passing lane. Anthony Smith picked up the loose ball, got it back to Marshall, the beneficiary, and Martinsburg trails by 1. Whitener with it on this left wing, passing it off to Bitterai. Almost got away from him. He regains control. Gives right back out to Whitener, and they'll swing it around on that left wing to Moses. 6.5 minutes to play, quarter number one. Quincy Ray in front of the Bulldog bench to Moses along that right baseline and back out to Ray. You can't miss Malachi Baker. I like the blue hair.
Yeah, nice blue hair, the red shoes. He is rocking it tonight. He's going to try a three.
And he's going to have that one go off the rim, the backboard and the rim again, and down into the hands of Telrin Villa. That one from the left corner would not go, and quickly the other way as Anthony Smith drives in on the right angle. There's contact and a foul. That one going against 2-1, Kevin Whitener. It will be his first, and Anthony Smith will go to the line to shoot two. He's a 72% foul shooter, 36 of 50 on the season, and the free throw up and good. That one hit the rim and the backboard before dropping through.
Anthony wastes no time when he shoots free throws. Gets the basketball, a couple of quick dribbles, very little knee bend, and just quickly gets it to the basket and is pretty good at it as well.
He knocks them both down, and Martinsburg has their first lead at 4-3. Yeah, a season ago, Anthony Smith shot 85% from the line, 62 of 73. So far this season, as we said earlier, right around 72%. Spring Mills basketball. Malachi Baker beyond the arc on the left wing, puts it on the floor with a dribble. Guarded tightly by Telrin Villa, passing on that far wing to Terrell Moses. Pass down low, Bitterai open. He snuck in behind the defense but missed the shot. Telrin Villa had the rebound but lost it out of bounds off his foot on the far sideline, and it'll go back to Spring Mills.
Yeah, I think he started moving before he put that ball down, and by the time he used that dribble, the foot and knee was right below where that ball was going down. Nothing he can do about it. Quickly got out of bounds.
So Spring Mills with another opportunity, down by one. Moses right side three. It hits the rim a couple of times, bounces out, and the rebound of Anthony Smith. Going to bring it up the floor himself across midcourt to the top of the key, down the left side of the lane, forces up the shot and got it to go. Anthony Smith with the bucket and a chance for more. Boy, he's coming off a tough one where he scored only two against St. Maria Goretti on Saturday. He is coming out with a little vengeance here early on in this one.
That foul going to go on Terrell Moses.
There you go.
His first, team second.
And Anthony Smith going to go back to the line where he's already hit a couple. Smith awaiting as our head official gives him the basketball. There's that free throw, and it rattles out no good. Baker clears that rebound as it actually hit the floor, and a traveling violation as Moses got it off to Bitterai. And just like that, Martinsburg will get it right back. 6-3, the advantage for the Bulldogs, and they have the ball. Inbounds to Teddy Marshall right in front of us. Bulldogs' second leading scorer, averaging 17.7 a game. Marshall with a bullet pass down low. Finds an open Dorn Smith for two.
Yeah, Dorn Smith waiting all by himself right on that low block on the right side. A great pass down low and an easy finish. Surprised Dorn Smith didn't throw that one down. We know his leaping abilities. He can jump out of the gym. Decided just to go up with the right hand with it.
8-3 now, that Martinsburg advantage as Terrell Moses had it almost poked away. Bitterai grabbed it. Trey in that right corner driving the baseline. His shot is short and the rebound to Telrin Villa. Quick outlet up the floor. Dorn Smith stops at the foul line, gives to Villa down the left side of the lane. He'll end up in a double team. Passes out to Smith on this right wing. Back to Villa, top of the key. Three on the way and off the back of the rim. No good. Garrett stops. Battles, grabs the rebound but throws it out of bounds. He was going out himself and was trying to get it to Dorn Smith but ended up throwing it to Spring Mills head coach Luke Samples. Samples going to call for a timeout. Let's go ahead and take the break as well. It is a full timeout, so we're back in 60 with Martinsburg out in front 8-3.
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity. We see potential in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action. in communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together we can make real change happen.
Terrell Moses into the front court, a double team coming towards him. He'll pass down low through the hands of Telrenvilla. Ray's got it to Whitener, and left of the basket he puts it up and in.
Good body control by Whitener, using his body as a shield. Looked like an off-balance shot if you were looking at it on the TV, but just used a good job of using that hip more as a shield and going up on the left side.
We have got a whistle and a foul as Teddy Marshall had it along the right sideline. And that foul was going to go on Quincy Ray. It'll be the first on the 5'10 junior guard. Trey Sager's going to check into the Bulldog lineup for Garrett Stobbs. Sager saw a little bit of action against St. Maria Goretti last Saturday after missing a couple of games due to illness. Sager getting back to full strength. Anthony Smith out top around a screen set by Sager. Takes it down the left side of the lane. Went to the right hand for the underhand scoop shot. Anthony Smith has 6 early points.
Yeah, and what a take that was, going up underhand scoop shot, just getting it to hang on the rim long enough to fall. Anthony Smith has started this game very, very well.
As a result, Martinsburg has a 10-5 lead. Bitterai from the left side, a deep three. Skims off the right side of the rim, going out of bounds. It'll belong to the Bulldogs. Martinsburg will have the ball length of the floor to go with a 5-point lead and 3:40 to play in our first quarter. Terrell Moses waiting at the midcourt stripe for Anthony Smith. Walking it up the floor with that dribble. Slowing it down as he gets across that midcourt line. Passing on that left wing to Dorn Smith to Teddy Marshall. Marshall backing it out beyond that three-point line. He'll fire that three. It's off the back of the rim. Telrenvilla tips it. Anthony Smith controls, and the Bulldogs will reset. Teddy Marshall with it again from the left side. He'll fire the three, and this time he gets it. Marshall missed one, but now makes one. His 28th three of the season.
Yeah, he's got 5 now, and a great head fake. Was about a half a foot inside that three-point arc. Gave the head fake, took a step back, and was able to knock down the three. But again, all started with a great behind-the-back pass by Anthony Smith.
Quincy Ray with it on that right wing for the Cardinals, giving it off to Bitterai. Baker comes over to get it, still on that right side of the floor. Back out top to Ray. Takes the dribble and then gives to Moses in the left corner. Moses picking up that dribble, passing out top. Bitterai able to control it. Anthony Smith almost had the steal. Giving to Quincy Ray. Left side three. Skimmed the net but never got the rim. Whitener grabs the rebound to Baker on the right side. Wow, he was practically on the sideline, but Malachi Baker drains the three.
Yeah, great shot by Baker, and you weren't lying. His heels couldn't have been more than about a foot away from that sideline, just in front of the Martinsburg traveling students section.
Telrenvilla driving baseline left side, feeds in the lane intended for Dorn Smith. Basketball loose, run down by Marshall. He lost it. Dorn Smith has it now to Telrenvilla. Right side 15-footer comes off the rim, and the rebound corralled by Whitener. Back the other way. Cardinal basketball. Under 2 minutes to play quarter number 1, 13-8. The Martinsburg advantage. Baker open from the left side. He'll fire another deep three. This one a little too strong. Backside rebound, Teddy Marshall. Working up that far sideline, Marshall. Guarded by Ray. A behind-the-back dribble. Gets foul line extended left side. Stops and pops. Teddy Marshall off to a hot start. He's got 7, and the Bulldogs lead 15-8.
Now Spring Mill's going to slow it down offensively again. Had tried to push it the last couple of possessions up. Got a 3 out of it. But now look like they're going to slow it down a little bit, and I thought could have easily been called a travel on David Bitterai. Kind of picked up that dribble and shuffled the feet.
Now Bitterai from the right corner firing a three. It's off the back rim as Whitener was going high into the air for the rebound. We got a whistle and a foul, and that may be on Malachi Baker, and it is. Baker with a push, trying to get position going after that rebound. So that will go to Martinsburg. The Bulldogs up by 7 with 1:17 remaining here in quarter number 1. By the way, Hedgesville has a 17-11 lead up at Musselman at the end of 1, thanks to Brian Horner providing us that score. We'll be texting him our end of quarter number 1 score when we get there. Anthony Smith, nice drive down the right side of the lane. Shot wouldn't go. Sager's tip off the mark. He gets it back. His shot wide right. Rebound goes out of bounds and looks like it will belong to Spring Mills.
And Sager did a good job when he went up the second opportunity. Just tried to tip it in. When he got his own putback, had 2 hands on the basketball, and what did he do? He brought it back down. He's got to stay up with the basketball and go right back towards the basket. Ended up missing that second opportunity short.
Terrell Moses giving to Bitterai right in front of the Martinsburg student section on that far side. Now to Baker on that side. He'll fire another 3. Rattles in and out, no good. Rebound tipped, and Wingfield comes down with it. Nice job, Daniel Wingfield. Just 5'9", but the senior battling inside. 35 seconds to play, quarter number 1. 15-8 Martinsburg. Wingfield giving to Whitener beyond the arc on this left wing. Puts it on the floor with a dribble. Turns back to his left and now hands it off. Moses has it. Down low to Bitterai. Driving baseline reverse layup good. Nice drive, David Bitterai. 15-10, that Bulldog lead at 5. Teddy Marshall in the front court on the wing left side. Gives out top to Garrett Stobbs. To Anthony Smith on the right wing. To Garrett Stobbs again out top. Down to 2, down to 1. Stobbs going to get it off Marshall. 3 on the way. Got it! Teddy Marshall from the left side drains his second 3 of the opening quarter. And we'll head to quarter number 2 when we come back with Martinsburg in front of Spring Mills, 18-10.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandSmall.com.
Come ride with us and now ride more easily. Tired of hunting for the right change to get on the bus? Now you can use your smartphone to pay for all your trips when you ride with EPTA and get 50% off your first purchase. Text the word TOKEN, T-O-K-E-N, to 41411 for the download link and download the new Token Transit app, which is available in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. Text TOKEN to 41411 and put the new Token Transit app to work for you when you ride with us.
The bus, come ride with us.
Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Back at the studio, Eric Sterick, our producer-engineer for this one. John Alderton is up behind us running our TV10 camera. Congratulations, or I guess we should just say happy birthday to Tyler.
Somebody in here is named Tyler, and we've heard both student sections sing happy birthday.
Don't know who Tyler is, but happy birthday, Tyler. Martinsburg basketball, Teddy Marshall moving to his right, spins back to his left, banks it in off the glass, counted in, there's a foul. Teddy Marshall red hot, he's got 12 early points.
Yeah, great spin move in the lane, and with that spin, Spring Mills just not in the positioning to play good defense. I didn't see a whole lot of contact down low, must have been a little body after the play. But he'll go to the line for 3 the old-fashioned way.
Foul is on Whitener. It'll be his second, and Marshall cannot complete the old-fashioned three-point play. Sager tips the rebound, but it's controlled by Spring Mills. In the front court in the left corner, Whitener has it. Giving off to Bitterai along that baseline. Back out on this left wing, Moses has it. Again to Bitterai. Put it on the floor down towards the baseline. Double team comes. Gives to Baker, left of the lane. Double clutches on the shot. Missed it off the side of the rim. And a rebound to Telrin Villa. Villa into the front court. Hesitates, drives down the right side of the lane and lays it in off the glass. Nice drive, Telrin Villa. He's got his first 2 of the ball game. And Martinsburg has pushed that lead out to 22-10, and we have a timeout on the floor. Let's go ahead and take the timeout. It's a 30-second break, and then we'll be back with Martinsburg now in front by 12.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
And here at Spring Mills, where Martinsburg is looking to pick up their 14th win of the season. For Spring Mills, trying to run a winning streak to 3 in a row. They haven't done that yet this year, Matt. They won their opener against Lewis County in a season-opening tournament up at Musselman, but then suffered a loss against Parkersburg, came back with wins against Hampshire and Silver Oak Academy. Then came a loss against Freedom at the Martinsburg tournament, and they hadn't won 2 in a row again until the 2 coming in to this one. Well, Spring Mills in the front court, almost turning it over. It was Malachi Baker who went down to the ground to save the possession, and as the Dogs were reaching in, trying to get a held ball, Trey Sager is called with the personal. His first and team foul number 1 on Martinsburg.
Quincy Ray back into the ball game. Daniel Wingfield going to have a seat on the bench. See if Spring Mills can get this back to a 10-point game or even a 9 if they can knock down a 3. Their scoring has come in spurts as we get a foul on Garrett Stobbs.
Wow, I thought it might go on Teddy Marshall for landing on top of Bitterai, but instead it was a push from Stobbs that must have led to the contact with Marshall.
It's a real chicken or the egg thing.
Moses along that right side of the floor, giving it off to Ray. Bouncing down low, and Varick puts it up and in. Jacob Barrack checking into the lineup, and the 6'4 sophomore forward making his presence felt. 22-12, the Bulldog lead cut to 10. Anthony Smith out top, giving to Marshall. Marshall guarded by Ray, around the screen, set by Trey Sager, and we've got a whistle and a foul. And that one's going to go on 1 for Quincy Ray for making a little too hard a contact on that screen, and he now has 2. So tough going for head coach Luke Samples as Ray and Whitener, 2 starters, each have 2 fouls. Inbounds to Anthony Smith, deep on this right wing, penetrates into lane, underhand scoop shot wouldn't go. I think Barrack may have gotten a little piece of it. He grabbed the rebound, outlet to Terrell Moses. Moses got away with the travel. His shot was blocked by Sager, but Bitterai is there to grab the rebound and put it in.
Yeah, Matt, you weren't kidding about getting away with the travel. He picked the basketball up just inside the three-point line on the left side, finished on the right side underneath the basket, never took a dribble.
Teddy Marshall down that left side of the lane using the left hand to get the bucket. 24-14. Martinsburg pushes it back out to 10, and Teddy Marshall has 14 early points. Bitterai beyond the arc on the left wing, dribbles down towards the baseline, then skips a pass to Malachi Baker on that right side. As he drives into the lane, he passes out top to Ray. His 3 rattles in and out, no good. Sager tips the rebound. It's controlled by Stobbs. Martinsburg basketball with a 10-point lead.
And Ray's got to be frustrated with that one. That shot did everything but fall in the basket.
Foul line extended right side. Off the dribble, Stobbs' shot rims in and out, no good. Baker the rebound, quick outlet up the floor. Bitterai on the angle left side, had the ball poked away. Good job, Anthony Smith, as he forces a turnover. Loose ball picked up by Teddy Marshall. Marshall to the foul line, gives it off to the cutter on the angle left side, and that's Garrett Stobbs who takes it to the rim and lays it in.
And that wasn't just giving it off. Teddy Marshall hit the brakes at the foul line. Never made eye contact with Garrett Stobbs, but knew he was driving down that left side. Looked as if Teddy Marshall might pull up from the foul line for a jump shot, but instead just a quick little pass, no look to a cutting Garrett Stobbs. And Stobbs continues to get better and better at the rim and inside the paint.
Now Stobbs just picked up his 2nd foul as he tried to get into the passing lane along the near sideline in front of the Bulldog bench, but collided with a Spring Mills player. 26-14, Martinsburg in front, now under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Bitterai out top, driving into the lane with a left-hand dribble, and he is fouled. The foul on the floor. Dorn Smith banging into Bitterai before he could go into the air for the shot. First foul on Dorn Smith, 4th team foul. Inbounds will come on the baseline left of the basket. Bitterai will trigger it. Looking. Finally gets it in. Baker has it out top. Now to Terrell Moses. Along the right sideline to Bitterai. Bitterai coming off a great game, 23 points in the win against Jefferson back on Tuesday night. He's got 4 in the first half of this one. Quincy Ray with it between the circles. Anthony Smith guarding him. Pass goes to Terrell Moses on that right wing. Around the screen set by Barrack. Goes down low to Barrack. Barrack trying to work his way in. Loses the basketball out of bounds belonging to Martinsburg. Not sure if he dribbled it off his foot or just lost it.
I think he lost it going up. He lowered that left shoulder and tried to create some separation. And when he came up, I'm not sure whether he was coming up and trying to go up with the basketball at the same time. But either way, didn't go off. It wasn't poked away, didn't go off his shoe or anything, just lost it going up.
So the Bulldogs work into the offensive end. And Teddy Marshall has it, guarded by Terrell Moses. Gives it the high post to Telrin Villa. Dribble to his right, now stops, leans back to his left as he puts up the shot. It's off the mark, and Bitterai the rebound. Dribbling out of some traffic, gives to Terrell Moses in the front court. Bitterai gets it back, and now Moses between the circle. Good transition defense by Martinsburg. Out top, Moses is open. He'll fire the three, and got it. That's his second three of this first half. He's got 6 points. 26-17, the Martinsburg lead.
Now the third three in the first half that Spring Mills has hit. 2 of those threes coming from Terrell Moses, the other one coming from Malachi Berger. That was that deep three in the first quarter, almost on the sideline.
Teddy Marshall left open on this right wing. He'll fire the three, gets off the mark. Rebound kept alive by Dorn Smith, but Bitterai able to grab it, gets it ahead to Moses. Moses reverse layup, rattles in and out, no good. Rebound grab by Telrin Villa, then Telrin Villa grabbed by David Bitterai, and Bitterai commits the foul. I think we're going to the other end now. 4 free throws, 2, 4, 6. Yep, foul number 7. So the 1-and-1 coming for Telrin Villa. 74% from the line this season, 67 of 91 on the season. Matt, the 6'3 senior, back above 20, averaging 20.3 a game after scoring 26 in Saturday's loss against St. Maria Goretti.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Foul shot up, foul shot no good. Villa missing that one. And the rebound into the hands of Spring Mills.
Yeah, Villa having a very, very impressive senior season. He is, no doubt, if he wants to, going to play at the next level. It's just a matter of what level that is at the collegiate level and where that may be, but definitely going to get some more offers. I'm sure has some at the moment.
9 times this year has scored better than 20 points with a high of 31. Basketball in the hands of Spring Mills, working around the perimeter against a good Martinsburg man-to-man. Wingfield with it in the right corner, passing down low. Bitterai was falling out of bounds, saved it. It's a turnover as Martinsburg takes it. Anthony Smith into the front court. Boy, has to fight his way away from Wingfield. Good, solid defense. And now as Smith drives down the left side of the lane, a whistle and a foul.
That foul going to go on Daniel Wingfield. And you're just seeing Spring Mills having trouble when Martinsburg gets going and gets a full head of steam into the front court, just having trouble keeping up with the speed and the athleticism. When they can hold Martinsburg in the half court, they've done relatively well defensively as Anthony Smith misses the free throw, but Telrin Villa comes up with it.
Yeah, Villa had to battle through 2 Cardinals to get to that basketball, and he is able to not only get it, but then drive it back to the basket where the foul was called on Kevin Whitener, and the 6'4 senior not liking that call.
Yeah, and not liking it. He thought he got the block, and definitely not liking it because that's foul number 3 with 2:29 remaining in the first half.
9 team fouls now, and Villa back at the line where he missed the front end of the 1-and-1 a moment ago, and he misses it again here, but hang on. We may have a lane violation. That looks to be what it is. It'll be a lane violation. So we will wait again, or hang on. Nope, we're not going to wait. J.B. Barrack checking back into the lineup as Whitener will sit down. So Telrin Villa at the charity stripe. Free throw on the way. This one is good. Oh, wow. So they called it in the act of shooting. That's what it was. My apologies.
Yeah, he was going up, and that shot was blocked, obviously a little more than blocked with the body, and that's going to be another foul as it would have been a breakaway.
No. Actually, he stepped out of bounds. Bitterai had his pocket picked by Anthony Smith. Smith apparently stepped out of bounds, though.
Smith stepped out of bounds because of an awful lot of contact, it looked like, on that far side.
Turnover for turnover. 27-17, Martinsburg with a 10-point lead. Spring Mills basketball, 2:10 remaining in our first half. Moses on the right wing, giving to Bitterai. Skip past to Wingfield on this left side of the floor. At the high post to Baker, gave a ball fake. Gives right back out to Wingfield. Left corner, 3 on the way. He got it. Nice job, Daniel Wingfield, 5'9" senior guard with his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, good ball movement by Spring Mills, trying to get Martinsburg back and forth across the court, and did a very good job of getting Wingfield that open three.
Teddy Marshall bouncing a pass to Trey Sager on a little pick and roll. He lost it as he was going up, but Dorn Smith was right there to grab it and put it in. 29-20, the Martinsburg advantage. A minute 30 and counting in our first half. Dogs catching a break there. Sager lost it, but Dorn Smith, Johnny on the spot. Or you might say Dorn on the spot. Wingfield driving in, angle right side, and his shot blocked. It's loose on the floor, and as Varick is picking it up, a whistle and a foul will go on Telrin Villa. He'll have his first personal. So Villa with his first team foul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Bulldog team fouls. That one on the floor, and Bitterai will give the inbounds to Barrack, right of the lane, out to Baker along that far sideline. We've seen him shoot from there and make from there.
Yeah, that is his zone today.
Instead, he'll give to Terrell Moses. Back to Malachi Baker between the circles, guarded by Telrin Villa. Baker to his left, back to his right, again to his left. To Wingfield in that left corner. To Bitterai, knocked away from him by Teddy Marshall. Wingfield picked it up, went back to Bitterai. Left side three off the mark. Rebound, Dorn Smith. Smith into the front court, giving to Teddy Marshall on this right wing beyond the arc. Marshall going to slow things down. A behind the back dribble to his left. Giving it off to Anthony Smith. Driving baseline left side. Shot blocked by Malachi Baker, but a whistle and a foul. Foul should go on Baker. Yep, there it is. He'll pick up his second. So he's got 2, Ray's got 2, Whitener has 3.
And Matt, this one's going to be 2 as well. This one's in the act of shooting as well.
Was he?
Oh, the last one confused you a little bit. Knocks down the first one.
Hey, finally some free throws made by Martinsburg. They've been struggling from the line here in this second quarter after going 2 for 3 in the opening quarter. Anthony Smith with a second free throw opportunity. 30-20, Martinsburg in front by 10, pending the free throw from Smith. The extra point, if you will, up and good, right?
Martinsburg shooting now 50% from the line, 5 for 10 here in this first half.
They do have an 11-point lead with under 30 seconds to play in the half.
And I think if you're Spring Mills, you got to slow it down. Try to get the last shot here.
Baker with it deep on this near wing, gives a pass off. Wingfield has it. Down low to Barrack. Turnaround baseline jumper from the left side. Too strong. Backside rebound Baker. And as Baker steps through for the reverse layup, it's a traveling violation. So Martinsburg with a 31-20 lead will work into the front court with 11 seconds left. Matt, first time they met, Martinsburg led 33-14 at the half. See what happens here. Anthony Smith on that wing left side, dribbles down to the baseline, gives it out. Trey Sager, left side three, off the rim, no good. Tip is up and in. Who tipped it?
That was Dorn Smith.
I was blocked, couldn't see.
Was it Dorn or was it Teddy?
Dorn Smith, I believe. I'm checking just to make sure, and it is going to be Dorn Smith who gets credit for that tip in as the horn sounds, and Martinsburg will have the halftime lead at 33-20. Let's take a 60-second break. We'll come back and recap this first half as we get into our halftime activities, brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Back after this 60-second break with the Bulldogs leading the Cardinals 33-20.
Come ride with us and now ride more easily. Tired of hunting for the right change to get on the bus? Now you can use your smartphone to pay for all your trips when you ride with EPTA and get 50% off your first purchase. Text the word TOKEN, T-O-K-E-N, to 41411 for the download link and download the new Token Transit app, which is available in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. Text TOKEN to 41411 and put the new Token Transit app to work for you when you ride with us.
Come ride with us.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
We are back once again here at the Spring Mills High School Gymnasium. The Fusion dance team heading out onto the floor to entertain the crowd here. If you're watching on TV 10, you'll catch that in the background as we recap our first half. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Our engineer at the studio is Eric Sterick. Running our TV 10 camera is John Alderton. And Matt's in the early going of this one. Spring Mills got a three-pointer from Terrell Moses to open the scoring, only to see Martinsburg score the next 8 points. Spring Mills cut the deficit to 8-5. Martinsburg pushed it out to a 13-5 lead. Spring Mills would get to within 13-8, but Martinsburg made it 15-8. And by the end of the first quarter, the Dogs led 18-10. In quarter number 2, pushed it out to a 12-point lead, 22-10, before Spring Mills needed to use their second timeout, trying to work their way back into it, but just couldn't do it as Martinsburg continued to push that lead out to where they're at the half, in front by 13.
Yeah, Martinsburg outscoring Spring Mills by 8 in the first quarter, 5 in that second quarter. It's just been the three ball for Spring Mills that has kept them in this game. It's a couple of threes for Terrell Moses, a 3 for Daniel Wingfield, and a 3 for Malachi Baker. We'll go the rest of the individual stats here in a little bit, the halftime show, but it's been that three ball, and it's been good ball movement. They've been making Martinsburg run back and forth across the court, trying to keep up with cross-court passes when they've been successful with those three balls.
Yeah, Martinsburg doing the job by getting to the basket and getting to the free throw line, although they haven't necessarily shot those free throws very well.
It's 5 for 10.
Yeah. For the Cardinals, how many free throws do you have in that first half?
Big old goose egg. And that's not how many they've made. That's how many they've taken.
Right.
I think that's a point of contention with head coach Luke Samples. We're sitting right next to the Spring Mills bench, and he has not been overly happy with a lot of the calls or a lot of the no calls in Spring Mills' favor and not being able to get to the foul line. So we'll see if they can find their way to that charity stripe in the second half.
All right, let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll check in with the girls' game from earlier, and as well, we'll find out what's happening with Hedgesville out at Musselman. We're at the intermission here, a 60-second break with Martinsburg leading Spring Mills 33-20.
Hello, I'm Michael Falk, a lifelong resident of West Virginia, husband and father. I worked my way through school and life with honesty, hard work, and determination. These principles have served me well in athletics, education, farming, and aviation, and have carried me through years of fighting for a more accountable government at the local and state level. These same core principles will allow me to serve you well in Charleston. I believe true leadership is sticking your neck out for right, even when it goes against the establishment. You can help me put principle over politics and beat the odds one more time.
Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge to represent you and ensure your most important investment is protected. Give us a call at 304-267-3050, 304-267-3050, because at Luttrell LC, your home is our business.
All right, let's take a look at what else is going on around the Eastern Panhandle when we get it started with a girls' game earlier. This was a girls and boys doubleheader. Matt, you had the play-by-play call on a game that went down to the wire.
Yeah, you can say that if you want to. It was a shot at 4.4 seconds left, gave Martinsburg the win. It was tied at 32 until 4.4 seconds left when driving down the right side as McKenzie, the Joel Lift, hits the shot on a beautiful up and under on the low block. Gave Martinsburg the win, 34-32. The only quarter that the Dogs led was that fourth quarter. They were down 11-10 after the first. They were down 17-15 at the half. 25-23 was the score after three quarters of play, but getting the win in the quarter that mattered, and that was the fourth and final. Martinsburg improves their record to 15-4, while Spring Mills drops one, a heartbreaker at home on senior night. They are now 7-12.
All right, there is another boys game going on even as we speak. That one has Hedgesville out at Musselman, and just getting the scoring update, Hedgesville owns a 29-20 lead at the intermission there. The Eagles led 17-11 after one and still have that lead. In fact, extending it by 3 points to a 9-point halftime cushion. We'll see how the second half of that one plays out as we bring you the second half here. Let's take a timeout, come back and wrap up our Smallwood Small Insurance halftime as we run the numbers from the first half. We're at the intermission with Martinsburg leading Spring Mills 33-20.
February means Valentine's, and Valentine's means sweet deals all month long at Apple Valley Chevy Toyota in Martinsburg. Get a 2020 Toyota Camry XSE with up to $4,050 off MSRP. How about a 2020 Toyota RAV4 TRD Off-Road with up to $1,960 off MSRP? Get up to $9,400 off MSRP on a 2020 Chevy Trax, or up to $9,800 off MSRP on a 2020 Chevy Equinox. Stop in to Apple Valley Chevy Toyota on Foxcroft Avenue in Martinsburg today and check out the sweet Valentine savings. Find out more online at applevalleytoyota.com or applevalleychevy.com, a part of the Miller Auto Group, where it's always a better deal. Price does not include tax, title tax, and processing fees. Savings based on Camry stock number 20T585, RAV4 stock number 20T521, Trax stock number 20C197, Equinox stock number 20C541. See dealer for details.
We're back again here at Spring Mills High School. By the way, before we jump immediately into our first half stats, one other score I do need to pass your way. There was a freshman game going on at the same time as the girls' game here in the auxiliary gym, and the Martinsburg freshman boys got the win over Spring Mills 52-47, improving to 9-3. They will be in action out at Musselman on February the 19th at 6 p.m. That's next up for the freshman boys. JV, I understand, played yesterday, but I'm not sure how that one played out.
I hate to look over your shoulder. What's the last name of the leading scorer today?
Leading scorer, that is Valentine. Cyrus.
That's kind of
Valentine?
ironic and funny.
It is, absolutely.
Did you not pick up on that when you looked?
I hadn't even glanced at that point. I skipped right over that to get the next game in. We got to get in our halftime stats. They're brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor, accountable, ethical, responsible. Find out more at folk4wv.com. Paid for by Michael Folk for Governor. Matt, individual numbers.
Leading the way of all scorers, and by process of elimination, that means Martinsburg as well. Teddy Marshall with 14 points. He had 10 in the first quarter. 8 points for Anthony Smith, 6 for Dorn Smith, 3 for Telrin Villa, and 2 for Garrett Stobbs. For Spring Mills, leading the way for them, Terrell Moses has 6. That's on 2 3-pointers. 4 for David Bittereye. That's 2 in each quarter. A 3-ball for Daniel Wingfield, and then a basket each for Kevin Whitener and Jacob Barrack. Those are your individual numbers from the first half.
Matt, by the way, JV won yesterday 52-40. So we have that one to add as well. And one of your keys to the game, hey, Martinsburg needs to find some bench scoring this game. Hasn't happened yet. All of the points coming from the 5 starters. Here's some team numbers quickly. Spring Mills has hit 4 threes. Martinsburg has hit only 2. Dogs 5 of 10 from the line, just 50%, but Spring Mills hadn't even shot a free throw. I've got Martinsburg +1 in rebounding, 15-14, and +4 in turnovers at 7 for Spring Mills, 3 for the Bulldogs. 5 fouls committed by Martinsburg in the first half and 10 committed by the Cardinals. All right, just
perfect
about ready
timing
for our second half to get underway. First half stats brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. And our halftime, a service of Smallwood Small Insurance at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. See if both teams go back to their starting 5. There goes Baker. There goes Ray, Bittereye, Moses, and Whitener. So Whitener with the 3 fouls will go ahead and get the start in the second half for the Cardinals. And you've got Smith, Villa, Stobbs, and Marshall on the floor for Martinsburg, so they go back to their starting 5.
That would be Anthony Smith and Dorn Smith.
Yes, Smith and Smith. Attorneys at law. They are holding court here today at Spring Mills.
Dorn with
Smith
6
with,
and 8 for Anthony Smith.
I was going there too.
14 combined.
Great minds think alike.
Or 2 halves make a whole, one of the 2.
We'll take it either way. Terrell Moses in the front court for Spring Mills as they get the basketball. Bitterai has it on this right wing. Skip past to Baker. Left side three on the way. A little too strong. Backside rebound, Bitterai. He'll back it out into the corner, giving to Moses out top. To the foul line, his jumper off the mark. Rebound tipped in. Quincy Ray comes away with it to Bitterai from the right side. His three off the mark. Whitener grabs the rebound and a traveling violation. Yeah, it's a traveling violation as Whitener was losing his footing and ended up with a little hop step in there. Coach Samples doesn't like it, but I thought it was pretty evident. So 30 seconds into our second half. Some good looks that time for Spring Mills. Just could not get a bucket that they really need. The Bulldogs into the front court, shooting at the basket to our left, and the basketball loose, and we get a kicked ball on Quincy Ray. So Quincy Ray kicking that one. It was loose for a moment, and now Martinsburg will inbound. They tried that handoff to Teddy Marshall, and it got knocked away. All right, here we go.
Referees need to get in the correct position. They do.
Inbounds Anthony Smith. Smith moving to his left around a screen set by Dorn Smith. Giving off in the corner. Stobbs. Left corner three. Got it. Garrett Stobbs with his 21st three-pointer of the season.
Yeah, and that one looked beautiful as it left his hand. He looked very confident in that shot. Good follow-through. Nothing but nylon on the way down.
Stobbs hadn't hit a three in each of the last two games, so good for him to get off the schneid, as they say.
But again, it'll be contributing in a lot of other ways.
Oh,
He's
yes.
really improved that game down low.
Whitener low post left side, dribbling through the paint along the baseline right side and ends up giving it back out top. Now to Baker from the left corner. His three, air ball too strong. Stops with a rebound. Into the front court with a pass to Teddy Marshall on this wing left side. Drives it to the basket. Left hands it up. Shot wouldn't go, but a whistle and a foul. Foul will go on to Terrell Moses, 6'1", senior guard. We would have that as his second personal. And Teddy Marshall to the line where he was 0 for 1 in the first half. Normally an 81% foul shooter. He is 67 of 83 coming in, and this foul shot is good. Rattled around the rim a little bit, but he did get it to go. 15 on the contest now for Marshall, the Bulldog leading scorer.
Just wanted to make it a little more exciting.
Second foul shot rattles a little bit between the circle, but drops down through that orange rim. 38-20. The Bulldog lead stretching out to 18. This becomes a real crucial time, I think, for Spring Mills.
Yeah, down by 18. They need a bucket. They don't need a three. They just need to get the offense going a little more consistently. Ball poked out of bounds. Last touching Dorn Smith. Going to stay Spring Mills basketball, but they just need to slow down the offense, do what they did when they were successful in their offensive sets. Again, if you can get Martinsburg trying to play help defense and going back and forth, they got some very open looks in that first half.
Bitterai has it between the circles for Spring Mills. Good man-to-man defense for Martinsburg, but now Baker's left open on that left wing. His three rattles in and out. Bitterai grabs the rebound, gets to Moses, and back around to Baker on that left side of the floor. Couple of substitutes ready to come in for Spring Mills. Terrell Moses has it out top. Again to Bitterai on that wing left side. Holds it overhead, looking, now puts it on the floor. Several dribbles and now sends to Quincy Ray. To Moses in this right corner. Three ball on the way, got it. Boy, Terrell Moses has drained 3 threes in the ball game. He's got 9. 38-23. You said, hey, it doesn't have to be a three, but they'll take that one.
I was going to say a three helps, but they didn't need one.
Anthony Smith dribbling to this left wing as it poked away by Terrell Moses, so he picks it up and dribbles again. Giving back out to Garrett Stobbs. Stobbs started left, goes right down the right side of the lane. Floats it up, shot wouldn't go, but right at the front of the rim, Dorn Smith skies, grabs it, puts it in, and there is a foul. And that personal is going on Malachi Baker, and that's going to be his third personal. So Dorn Smith now has 8 points. Wingfield and Varick are checking back in. Jacob goes by JB. So Whitener started to come out, but hold on. Coach hollers in, and Coach Sample says, no, I want Malachi Baker. And now we're going to get a timeout taken, it looks like, by Bulldogs head coach Dave Rogers. So we do have a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. Let's take the 30-second break as well. 5:15 remaining here in quarter number 3, and Martinsburg leading 40-23.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
40-23, Martinsburg with a 17-point lead and a chance to add to it coming out of the Bulldog timeout. Dorn Smith will step to the line where he'll attempt to complete the old-fashioned three-point play as he was fouled on the putback right before Coach Rogers called the timeout. Foul shot up, good. Dorn Smith, a 58% foul shooter, but has really come to life with those free throw numbers in the last several games. Martinsburg is out in front now, 41-23. Double team near the midcourt stripe on Bitterai. Throws it near side, intended for Wingfield. Knocked away and stolen by Teddy Marshall. He'll give it off to Dorn Smith. Smith gets the leg up as it rattles around the rim and drops through. Count the bucket, and there's a foul as well on Daniel Wingfield.
Liked it so much he wanted to do it again. Back-to-back possessions. He's going to go to the line after converting on the shot and get the three-point opportunity.
Smith has gone 8 for 12 from the line over the last 3 games before this one, and he misses this foul shot, so he was not able to get the three-point play. And we've got a foul on number 15, Teddy Marshall. So after the rebound for Barrack, Teddy Marshall commits the personal foul. That is going to be his first, and we're going to have a timeout taken by Spring Mills head coach Luke Samples. It's a full timeout. Let's take 60 seconds as well with 4:55 remaining in the third, and Martinsburg leading 43-23.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
In there. $97.5.
Well, Martinsburg pushing that lead out to 20 points now at 43-23. Head coach Luke Samples trying to keep this one as close as he can for his Cardinals, burning his third timeout. He's got 2 remaining with 4:55 to play in this third quarter. Terrell Moses working into the front court. Trap comes to him right in front of us. Pass far side. Wingfield's got it. Wingfield controlling that dribble. Double team comes to him. Skip past to Bitterai on this near side. To Moses out top. Martinsburg really pressing on that defense. To Wingfield in the left corner. His 3 ball was blocked by Teddy Marshall. And we'll have a whistle, and I believe we may have a foul. Yeah, we do have a foul on J.B. Barrack, the 6'4 sophomore, with a push in the back, as we heard from our head referee. And so that will go down as a team rebound for Martinsburg. And the Bulldogs will inbound, length of the floor to go with that 20-point cushion.
Trey Sager back into the ball game.
Sager still looking for his first points. Martinsburg looking for a reserve to score. All of the points so far coming from the starters. Teddy Marshall down the left of the lane, giving to Anthony Smith in the left corner. 3 ball up and good. 7th 3 on the season for Anthony Smith. He's in double figures now with 11, and the Bulldog lead 46-23.
He doesn't pull up often, likes to drive to the basket a whole lot more.
Driving along the left side of the lane, David Bitterai had his shot rejected, and then the ball ends up out of bounds, staying with Spring Mills on that far side. Bitterai was going for it, but a pair of Martinsburg players who would block that shot were there as well, and so it will stay with Spring Mills. Baker is back in as Varick checks out. Ray on the floor as well.
Under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter of this one. Martinsburg has doubled up Spring Mills so far, 46-23.
Quincy Ray, low post left side, has to pass to Bitterai out on this right side of the floor to Terrell Moses, and the three-pointer up and good. Moses drills it. 46-26 is now the lead for Martinsburg. And another 30-second timeout taken by the Cardinals. Now we'll go ahead and keep it here. I got just one left for head coach Luke Samples. A little surprised at taking that one at this time.
And I am and I'm not. Again, this is a game where you're still trying to work on an awful lot. And it's a 20-point game right now, so you're really – that's the kind of game this is. You're trying to work on things that can help you down the stretch. Again, a few weeks left in the regular season, and you're trying to work on getting better before the playoffs. We talked about it a bunch in the girls' game because they are getting much closer to the playoffs, or about a week closer, actually, than the boys are. And in high school basketball, it's all about getting hot at the right time, getting better at the right time, and playing your best basketball as you enter the playoffs. Out of the time that Anthony Smith with the basketball, we'll do a couple of crossover dribbles, working on Terrell Moses into the front court.
Giving it off to Teddy Marshall. High post to Sager. Touch pass to Tilron Villa. As he was cutting down the right baseline, he went for the slam dunk ball. Got poked away by Whitener, and eventually that loose ball grabbed by Whitener. He'll get it off to Terrell Moses, still in the backcourt in a double team. Gets to Bitterai at the midcourt stripe. Down the floor to Ray. Ray from that left baseline thought about the shot. Now drives into the lane and travels. Had a chance to shoot, but instead tried to pass out into the corner and ended up shuffling the feet.
Another turnover for Spring Mills. Martinsburg getting the basketball back. 3:07 remaining in this one on a running third quarter clock. A 20-point lead for the Dogs. Teddy Marshall now has it in the front court, working on Quincy Ray. Goes the opposite way of the ball screen. Steps back for three from the right wing. That one too strong off the back of the iron. Anthony Smith able to come up with the offensive rebound.
Smith dribbling to his right, down the side of the paint, kicks to Villa from the right corner. His three ball up and good. Tilron Villa with his 9th of 3 of the season. Matt, he's got just 6 points in this game, and yet the Dogs lead 49-26.
Yeah, and back-to-back threes from two guys that don't do it all that often, but able to knock them down. So we have a whistle and going to get a foul on Teddy Marshall.
Nope. Well, it's a technical foul that will be called on Teddy Marshall. Not sure what he may have said, but a technical foul on Teddy Marshall is going to send David Bitterai to the charity stripe. And the first technical free throw is up and good. Bitterai now with 5 points in this one. He had just 2 the last time these teams met. Puts this one up and through as well. So that cuts the deficit to 49-28.
And you wonder, it had to be something said. There was no contact, no nothing between, or any physical contact at least, between anybody in a black jersey and a white jersey. So it had to be some sort of verbal issue with Teddy Marshall.
Bitterai open from the right corner. His 3 ball off the rim. Trey Sager grabbing that rebound. Outlet Anthony Smith. Long pass down the floor to Tilron Villa. Low post right side into double team. Steps through it to put up the shot. And a 3-second violation on Martinsburg. That took him too long to get it up.
Yeah, Dorn Smith sitting right on that low block, but just inside the paint. And Tilron Villa doing a couple of head fakes, couple of ball fakes, and just took him a little too long to get the shot up, and Dorn Smith just waiting, trying to get that rebound.
Well, Hedgesville pulling away from Musselman in quarter number 3. 51-31, the Eagle lead now going into the fourth. Tilron Villa guarding Whitener in the right corner, and we've got a whistle and a foul on Kevin Whitener. As our officials say, he swung that elbow around to try to get away from Tilron Villa, and Whitener is going to have to come out as he's got blood coming down his lip, and he is looking at the official wondering how he's got blood on his lip, and yet the foul was on him. We have an official's timeout as they will tend to Kevin Whitener. Now, this is one I don't understand. When you have a player sit down on the floor, when you can easily go to the bench and deal with a cut on the lip, this is the one that I don't get.
Especially when you need a substitution. Whitener walking all the way up to about half court before being told to sit down. Yeah, I agree with that. I get if it's a leg injury, or if it's an injury that is, you want somebody to make sure he's stabilized. But Whitener clearly can get to the bench on his own. I'm with you, Matt.
Well, and Coach Samples waiting to put in his sub. The officials are asking, and now J.B. Barrack checks into the lineup. And the ball will belong to Martinsburg. Length of the floor to go after that offensive foul.
Technical foul now being issued to Spring Mills head coach Luke Samples.
So now we've had a technical for each team, as this one will go on the head coach. Had a technical on Martinsburg's Teddy Marshall earlier. Right now it's a 49-28 Martinsburg lead. 1:56 remaining in quarter number 3, and Anthony Smith will go to the charity stripe. Free throw short off the rim, no good. He's missed 3 foul shots. He's 4 of 7 in this one. Came in shooting 72%. This foul shot up, and it rattles in and out, no good. So now let's see as Martinsburg will inbound from the far sideline. Anthony Smith controlling that dribble. Guarded by Moses around the screen, set by Trey Sager. Giving to Stobbs on that right wing as he goes down the right side of the lane, goes to the left hand for that floating shot. Missed it short, but he'll get free throws, it looks like. A whistle and a foul, and that personal going on Quincy Ray, and it'll be his third. And Stobbs was fouled apparently on the floor. They are going to put him at the line. Oh, but they're only going to say 1 and 1.
Yeah, I agree with that. He hadn't put the shot up yet. That contact came on the drive. I like the call that it's 1 and 1. I don't think it was a shooting foul.
Free throw on the way, and no good. So Garrett Stobbs cannot get the front end of the 1 and 1, and the Bulldogs' tough free throw shooting continues. Into the front court, Betterai with it right in front of that Spring Mills bench, just to our right. Guarded by Luke Fowler, who's checked into the Bulldog lineup, goes around him with a left-hand dribble, and we've got a whistle and a foul, and that foul will go on Luke Fowler. That looks like just the second. Make it third Bulldog team foul.
Yep.
Yes. So 3 Bulldog team fouls. And we have the inbounds for Spring Mills and an illegal screen for Malachi Baker, who just picked up his 4th personal.
It wasn't an illegal screen. He was trying to create separation to get a pass on Luke Fowler. So it wasn't a screen. It was just trying to create some separation, happen right in front of the official. Use that off
push.
Yeah, it was just that. It was that push to create separation. Wasn't a pick.
So Baker picks up his 4th personal foul. And the Bulldogs into the offensive end as we near a minute to play in this third quarter. This game bogging down a little bit.
Yeah, not a whole lot of flow in this third quarter. It's hard to with 2 technicals and a lot of fouls as Anthony Smith gets it on the run.
Well, Garrett Stobbs badly missing a 3. Run down all the way in the backcourt by Anthony Smith. He got ahead to Luke Fowler, but Fowler's pass goes right back through the backcourt and out of bounds and will belong to Spring Mills. Bulldog turnover.
And this is a third quarter of tape that you just throw out. This has not been a very cleanly played quarter. Martinsburg out in front by 21, but again, just doesn't feel like a basketball game that anybody's really in control of right now.
44 seconds and counting in quarter number 3. Betterai beyond the arc on this right wing. Guarded by Luke Fowler, sending down into the corner, knocked away by Telrin Villa, but Villa got Quincy Ray, and Telrin Villa has his 2nd personal. 35 seconds left in quarter number 3. 49-28 Martinsburg.
This third quarter feel like it's taken about
3 days?
Yeah. And 4 nights.
Maybe on day 4 we'll wrap this one up. We know we will at quarter 4. which is 29 seconds away, depending on what happens next. Deep three, left side, Malachi. Baker off the back iron. Villa tips the rebound off of the backboard. It's loose on the floor, safe from going out of bounds by Moses. In and out of the hands of Ray, and then out of bounds on the far side belonging to Martinsburg. Wow.
Again, that play right there just kind of sums up this entire third quarter. Nobody able to run down a basketball. Nobody able to get possession of it. Martinsburg can hold for the last shot in the way that Anthony Smith is slowly bringing it to the timeline. Looks like they're going to, but if I were him, I'd pick up the pace just a little bit. Now with just 5 seconds left, he's just crossing midcourt.
Looking for the screen from Trey Sager. He gets it, driving from his left to right, misses the shot. Tip comes off the bottom of the rim for Sager, and the rebound to Spring Mills as the horn sounds. And we are going to quarter number 4 when we come back with your score. Martinsburg 49 and Spring Mills 28.
Wow, that was ugly.
Howdy, cowpokes. Do your business cards look like they were designed by a coat roper? Well, this cowboy knows the advantage of dealing with folks the old-fashioned way. When you order printed material on the internet, you're stuck with what you get. But when you need printed material to look just right, you want to deal with folks you know. And that's what you'll find at Panhandle Printing and Design. Local folks that have been delivering results for years. They can help with everything from design to production of stationery envelopes, business cards, invitations, vinyl signs, banners, vehicle wraps, and a lot more. They can answer all your printing questions, and you can call them on the phone or hop on your horse and go see them, because they're your one-stop printing shop where they have something for everyone. Panhandle Printing and Design at 124 North Maple Avenue in Martinsburg. Call 304-267-7400. You can even find them online, too, if you want to. If you need printed materials, don't deal with some city slicker you'll never meet. Trust the folks at Panhandle Printing and Design.
Spring Mills High School, Eric Sterick is back at the studio, our engineer-producer for this one. Martinsburg with the lead as we go to quarter number 4, 49-28, outscoring Spring Mills 16-8 in that third quarter, and Matt Spring Mills just having trouble scoring. 10 in the first, 10 in the second, and 8 in the third. Telvin Villa, low post left side, losing that basketball and taken away by J.B. Barrack. Another Bulldog turnover. Martinsburg still no bench scoring. All of their points coming from the 5 starters. Penetrating along the angle right side to the rim goes Terrell Moses, and he is fouled in the act. 2 foul shots coming as he could not get that one to go. The foul was on the Dogs. Trey Sager.
And Sager's not had an ease-in process the last couple of days, which again is hard. You go from playing pretty consistently, being a starter, first foul shot for Moses, no good, but you go from being a starter and playing consistently to getting flu-like symptoms, being out, being sick, where your body's got to recover, and then getting back into basketball shape. That's tough, especially mid-season.
Second foul shot good, so Moses makes 1 out of 2. 49-29, that Martinsburg advantage down the floor. The Dogs go to Telvin Villa, and as he gets in the paint to put up the shot, we've got a whistle and a foul. That one going on Quincy Ray. I would have that as his 4th personal. He and Whitener both have 4, and Whitener right now not in the game after the bloody lip earlier. So Telvin Villa to the charity stripe, and his free throw no good off the side of the rim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the Dogs 17 free throws through 3 quarters. 1, 2, 3. Wow, only made 8 of those. So I have now 8 of 18, right?
Second one's up and good.
Hey, finally they get another. Let's make it 50-29. Martinsburg, a little over 30 seconds into our 4th quarter, and a whistle away from the ball. And we'll have a foul on number 13, David Bitterai. So Bitterai with a foul away from the ball. It's a player control foul, so no free throws, despite the fact that the Cardinals are over 10 fouls. Into the front court, Anthony Smith on the dribble, guarded by Wingfield. Giving to Teddy Marshall on that right wing. To Telvin Villa, low post right side. Wingfield able to get a hand in there, poke the basketball free. Wingfield length of the floor, giving off the pass to Berger. He can't handle it. It's loose and goes out of bounds, staying with the Cardinals.
And I'm just not sure how Wingfield made that pass. And why he made the pass as sharply as he did. Barrack coming in, and that was a full-on chest pass to a guy that was, 2.5 feet away from him?
On the run.
Yeah. I get maybe thinking you're going into a bad situation, but pull it back out, set up the offense. That was a turnover that didn't need to happen.
Bitterize inbounds taken away by Garrett Stobbs, but then taken right back away from him, and now Terrell Moses skip pass from right to left, goes out of bounds into the front row of the crowd, and that is a Spring Mills turnover. I've got that as their 13th.
And Matt, with as great of a basketball game as we saw last Friday, this one not nearly as clean.
No.
And on both sides. I'm not saying for Spring Mills, obviously 29 points, not having a great offensive day, but Martinsburg has not played that fantastic either tonight.
Into the front court, Stobbs with it beyond the arc on the left side, giving to Smith in the corner. Anthony Smith to Sager at the foul line. He steps out, and a deep shot from the left wing off the mark. Rebound put back for Dorn Smith wouldn't go, but the rebound and put back is there for Trey Sager, and Sager has his first two.
Couple of them. Put one up, didn't go, got it to come right back down to him, and did a good job not bringing the basketball back down, just had it above his head, went straight back up.
Bitterai in the right corner, puts it on the floor, drives to the side of the lane, missed the shot. Varick the rebound. His putback wouldn't go. Sager grabs this rebound. Quickly into the front court, Teddy Marshall up the near sideline. Bullets a pass, trying to get that one to Garrett Stobbs. It ended up tipped, and Quincy Ray could not save it from going out of bounds on the baseline. It'll stay with Martinsburg. Daniel Wingfield ready to check back in for the Cardinals. He's coming in for Quincy Ray.
Great effort by Ray going on that baseline, trying to save the basketball.
Inbounds pass going to Dorn Smith. Baseline jumper right side good from about 8 to 10 feet out. How about 13 for Dorn Smith? He's playing well. He had 6 in that first half. 54-29. Smith averaging 9.6 a game. That may be enough to get him over the top. Moses pass down in the right corner to Bitterai, goes out of bounds, and the Cardinals turn it over yet again.
Kevin Whitener coming back in. Terrell Moses going to have a seat on the bench. Whitener coming in with 4 fouls and a bandage on that bottom lip.
And I know Coach Samples is saying on the play that he got called for the foul on. 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go, quarter number 4. Garrett Stobbs in the front court to Dorn Smith at the high post. Put it on the floor, and we got a traveling violation on Smith.
I think that ball was poked away.
Yeah, Malachi Baker was able to get a hand in there to poke it away, but nonetheless, the traveling violation was called. So Bitterai into the front court, giving to Wingfield. Spring Mills basketball. Baker from the left corner. Out on that far wing to Bitterai. Puts it on the floor with the left-hand dribble, drives it in. Shot went, and he was fouled. He landed hard on the floor as in the midst of that floating shot, Bitterai collided with Trey Sager, and Sager will pick up his 3rd foul. And Bitterai will have a 3-point opportunity. That's a heck of a shot.
Yeah, it is. Body control, just making sure his eyes never went off the basket, and I believe he came down on his head on the floor, so he's rubbing the hair on the back of his head.
Bitterai 2 for 2 from the line. That came back in the 3rd quarter. He puts this one through, and he's got 9 points. 54-32, the Martinsburg advantage.
Marion down the basketball game. First time we've called his name today.
Garrett Stobbs towards the lane, passing down low post left side to Dorn Smith, and he's fouled as he tried to spin to go up for the shot. That foul going on J.B. Barrack. 2nd foul on him, and Dorn Smith 2 free throws because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Over 10 fouls in this second half for Spring Mills. Dorn Smith good with the free throw. Another opportunity to add to the lead. With still 5:05 to play in this one. It's up, it's good. He gets them both, 56-32. All Martinsburg in this one, and a steal on the inbounds as Teddy Marshall takes it away, gives it off to Garrett Stobbs, and Stobbs lays it up and in. He's got 7. 58-32, Martinsburg out in front, and the final timeout going to be taken by Spring Mills head coach Luke Samples. Let's go ahead and take 30, and then we'll come back with Martinsburg out in front, 58-32.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
All right, here we go. As we look to complete this one, Martinsburg in command. Matt, tomorrow, college basketball, Oklahoma at Kansas, 11:45 pregame from Westwood 1, 12 noon the tip. That one will wrap up, and at 3 o'clock, it'll be WVU at Baylor. They actually tip at 4 o'clock. Let's see if the Mountaineers can respond after a, tough finish and loss against Kansas on Wednesday night. Then it's hockey tomorrow night.
You missed the biggest game tomorrow. I know it's not going to be on our airwaves, but you missed the biggest game of tomorrow.
The Defenders against the Guardians.
I wasn't going that direction.
XFL, you'll be there.
I will. 2 o'clock kickoff from down at Audi Field.
Oh, you were thinking
then
of
6
Maryland
o'clock
playing
is the
Michigan
tip.
State.
Yeah, Maryland will be in East Lansing taking on Sparty.
Well, the Spring Mills Cardinals work to the high post to Whitener. His pass down low is stolen by Dorn Smith, and as Dorn Smith was working down the lane before the foul occurred, a whistle for carrying the basketball.
Yeah, Dorn Smith dribbled that thing about 7 feet high and brought it back down. That's the easiest carry call you'll ever have to make.
Not allowed to do that?
I don't think so.
I mean, most coaches
you don't see
recommend
palming or carry called a lot anymore, but when you dribble it above your head and bring it back down, that's an easy call to make.
You certainly don't recommend the 7-foot-high dribble. Not often, anyway.
Not consistently, no.
Quincy Ray beyond the arc, giving to Bitterai. Left corner 3 on the way. Off the rim of the backboard, and Kamarian Dow clears the rebound. He'll work it into the front court on the dribble. Slows it down. Backs it out. Sets up the offense. Stobbs with it on that right wing. Back to Kamarian Dow to Fowler on the left side of the floor. Fowler dribbling to his right, giving it off to Teddy Marshall. To Dow along that right sideline. Spins, drives baseline to the rim and lays it up and in. Nice drive, Kamarian Dow.
Yeah, great drive to get into the scoring column for the first time today. And, hey, Martinsburg has now 2 separate players doing scoring off the bench.
Nice 4 bench points in this one after no bench points through the last 3 games. Garrett Stobbs leaping into the air on the far sideline, gets into the passing lane. That pass intended for Bitterai, knocked out of bounds. The Dogs still right now 14 points under their season average, Matt. They're averaging 73.6, rounded up to 74 points a game.
They're going to get there?
Inbounds pass from Quincy Ray across the floor from left to right, goes out of bounds over the head of Bitterai, who went deep into the bleachers as he tried to go save that one. Another turnover, and Martinsburg will have the basketball. Good defense on the inbounds, forcing that one. Kamarian Dow works across the midcourt stripe, sending far side, and the pass tipped out of bounds by Terrell Moses. There's good defense. Spring Mill's going to drop to 6-12. Modest 2-game winning streak will end. They'll still have 3 wins in their last 5 games. Martinsburg's going to get back in the win column after their 10-game winning streak was snapped, as they'll improve to 14-3. Cyril Ngasa checking into the Bulldog lineup. Jarvis Thurston as well.
Luke Fowler as well.
Fowler's been in there along with Sager, so those 2 remain. Dow remaining out there as well. Sager with it at the high post, spinning to his left, feeds down low to Fowler. His shot would not go. Battle for the rebound, out of bounds, and it will belong to Spring Mills. Fowler was a little under too far as he took that shot. Kind of came off the bottom part of the rim. 3:17 left in this one. Next up for Martinsburg at Tuscarora. That's in Frederick, Maryland on Tuesday.
That should be a fun one. I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm looking forward to that drive, working through the wonderful traffic of Frederick to try to get there in a decent time.
You don't actually have to get to Frederick, though. You go the back way.
I was going to say, we'll have to work on that one. We've got a whistle and a foul. Spring Mills in the offensive end. Pass to Bitterai on the near side, and Jarvis Thurston going hard after it, commits the personal. That would be 7 fouls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 7 fouls on Martinsburg. So it becomes the 1-1 for David Bitterai, who is 3 for 3 from the line tonight. Clock stops with 3:07 to play. Foul shot on the way, and he rattles it home. 10 points now tonight for Bitterai. Came in averaging right around 4 a game, coming off a 23-point performance on Tuesday in a win against Jefferson. Misses this one off the right side of the rim. Rebound saved from going out of bounds by Wingfield, and Spring Mills will control. Bitterai in the right corner, out top to Moses. Guarded by Cyril Ngasa. Moses to his right, goes all the way to the basket and lays it up and in.
Yeah, great take by Moses. Going on Luke Fowler, a little bit slower than Moses, and a strong take to the right side of the basket.
He's got 15 in this ball game. Luke Fowler with it out top. Giving to Kamari and Dow on the right side of the floor. Dribbling to his left into the lane. Passes it off to Thurston. Thurston goes down low to Sager. Lost the basketball, and it's taken away by Whitener. Bulldog turnover. And Moses into the front court. Lobs it ahead and gets it to Barrack, whose shot was blocked by Thurston. But Thurston commits his second foul. I think if he doesn't swat at it quite as much as he did,
I think if he goes straight up and then just comes down with one hand, it's different. I think he quick, emphatic slap down. You're going to have a lot of referees going, there's no way he made all contact with ball. That erratic of a downward motion. First free throw by Barrack missed.
By the way, we do have a final from out at Musselman. Hedgesville 66 and Musselman 43 as the Eagles get the lopsided win in that one. They'll face Martinsburg out at the Gilbert B. Miller Center next Friday. Second free throw is good. Barrett gets 1 of 2. 60-36 the Martinsburg lead, and Jess Sutherland seeing action for the first time tonight. Out top, Thurston off the dribble, fires the 3, rattles in and out, no good. Varick the rebound. Outlet to Wingfield across midcourt, giving to Bitterai on that left side of the floor. Under 2 minutes left in this one. Moses has it. Terrell Moses on this right wing. To his right, spins back to his left and is stripped of the basketball, but we've got a foul on Cyril Ngasa. 6-foot sophomore guard for the Bulldogs will have his first. 2 shots as Moses, coming out of that spin, was trying to get the ball up towards the rim, fouled in the act. Terrell Moses has had a real solid game, coming off a 14-point effort after having only 4 the first time these two teams met. I've got him now at 16 on the night. Ray checking back in along with Baker. Bitterai and Whitener checking out for the Cardinals. Thurston coming out for Martinsburg as Avion Blackwell checks in.
The freshman coming in has seen some playing time in the last couple of weeks.
Second free throw rattles in and out, no good, and the rebound, last touching Wingfield, goes out of bounds to Martinsburg. So Terrell Moses does get 1 out of 2. 60-37. Martinsburg in front. They've got the ball with 1:46 remaining. Kamari and Dow dribbling to his left. Double team comes to him. Gets to Blackwell. To Ngasa along the near side. Back out to Dow on this left wing. Dow clearing the side and getting to Jess Sutherland. Sutherland had it poked away. Loose ball grab. Kamari and Dow. Left baseline. 12-foot jumper up and good. Dow's got 4.
Yeah, good shot by Dow. Driving in baseline after getting the loose ball and probably bet even with the backboard of how deep he was on that baseline. Good shot.
In the front court, Moses controlling that dribble between the circles. To Quincy Ray on that left wing. He's guarded by Blackwell. Ray dribbling to his right, gets to the rim and lays it up and in. Quincy Ray has his first 2. 62-39, the Martinsburg lead. Now under a minute left. Kamari and Dow dribbling to his left around a screen set by Sutherland. Giving it off to Cyril Ngasa, driving baseline right side. Passes out to Sutherland off his face and then grabbed by Fowler, whose 3-ball misses. But the rebound to Kamari and Dow. He'll back out from the right side, firing a long shot. That was a 2. Doesn't matter. It was an air ball. And the rebound to Baker. He'll go the other way.
I think it's a few shots like that. The Coach Rogers is going to say, all right, why don't you just dribble it out for the rest of the game if we get the basketball back.
Barrack at the high post, passing it off, intended for Moses. Throws it right by him and out of bounds. And it will belong to Martinsburg with 24.9 left. Dow is back out as Thurston checks back in for Martinsburg.
I can't imagine Martinsburg will do anything but dribble this one out with 20 seconds right now, as long as you get across the timeline, and Jarvis Thurston does just that.
He'll give it to Blackwell. Blackwell angle right side driving in. Fouled by Barrack as he went up for the shot. Now, he was going to try to score, and Varick was going to try to block it. He did, but there was a foul on the play, and it was not on Barrack. It was on Baker. So that is foul number 5 on Malachi Baker, who must have gotten him on some help defense. He's going to foul out with 12 seconds remaining. He'll finish with 3 points, hitting 1 3-pointer on the night. Coach Samples calling his team over and going to use his allotted amount of time before putting in his substitute. It'll be Bitterai who will check back into the lineup. Blackwell will go to the line where he gets 2 free throws. We've yet to see Avion Blackwell attempt a free throw. So his first chance at the line on the varsity level. Chance to get into the scoreboard. Or at least onto the scoreboard. I don't guess he wants to get into it. He misses. Too deep. He'll get a second foul shot. Back spins it into his fingertips, puts it up, and this one's off the back rim as well. Rebound grab by Barrack, outlet to Bitterai. Into the front court, Terrell Moses on this wing right side, down to 5, down to 4. Moses working his way down the right side of the lane, and we get a whistle and a foul. 2 free throws coming with 2.1 seconds left. Foul on Cyril Ingasa.
62-39, that's all I'm saying.
Don't commit the foul or don't call the foul. Which one?
Don't commit the foul. At that point, what does a layup do?
There it is. Let him go to the basket and score.
Yeah. I get on the floor right now, guys that don't get a whole lot of playing time. I get not wanting to take advantage of every opportunity you get, but I don't think a coach is going to yell at you or you're going to see less playing time for not committing a foul right there.
Well, both foul shots are good for Moses. 62-41. The inbound's going to Blackwell. He'll dribble it out, and your final score is 62-41. Martinsburg getting the victory, improving to 14-3. Spring Mills will fall to 6-12. We'll tell you all about it in our postgame, brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial. We're back in 2 minutes to Spring Mills High School, where it's West Virginia high school basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity. We see potential in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action. In communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at Rotary.org.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
We are back once again here at Spring Mills High School along with Matt Crawford. I'm Matt Miller. Running our TV10 cameras, John Alderton, Eric Sterick, our engineer and producer, back at the studio. Matt, Martinsburg really runs away with this one in the end. It was a relatively tight game in the early going. Martinsburg led by 8 after 1, 18-10. Stretched it out to a 13-point lead at the intermission. 33-20 by outscoring Spring Mills 15-10 in that second quarter. In the third quarter is where the Bulldogs began to pull away, outscoring the Cardinals 16-8. And then in quarter number 4, an even quarter, 13 points apiece, and the margin, stays at 21 as Martinsburg wins it 62-41.
Yeah, it was not a cleanly played game on either side. Martinsburg's going to get out of here with a win, get their 14th win of the season. I didn't think they played all that well in this game overall. Not a clean played game, not a Friday night marquee matchup between two county schools, two sectional rivals. I expected a lot more out of this game. Again, Martinsburg at this point in the season, you'll be happy taking away a 21-point win, but was not impressed with what I saw from either team tonight overall.
Well, it was definitely a sloppy game the way that this one played out, but in the end, good, bad, or ugly, as you might say, you'll take it if you're Martinsburg as they get back in the win column again, the final 62-41. All right, let's take a 60-second break. We'll come back and run some of the numbers from this one as we continue with our postgame brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Give them a call with your financial, retirement, and investment questions. The number's 304-263-4343 or stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Again, your final, Martinsburg 62, Spring Mills 41.
All right, 3:18. Okay, we're both.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
School, where it's time for us to take a look at some of the numbers, and they are brought to you once again by Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Find out more about his campaign at folk4wv.com. Paid for by Mike Folk for Governor. Matt, individual numbers.
Individual numbers look like this, leading the way for Martinsburg. Teddy Marshall, he had 16. That's after he had 14 in the first half. 15 for Dorn Smith, 6 in the first half. The rest coming in the third and fourth quarter. 7 apiece for Garrett Stobbs and Telrin Villa. 11 for Anthony Smith. 4 for Kamarian Dow. 2 for Trey Sager. Individual numbers look like this for Spring Mills. Leading the way with 18 was Terrell Moses. 10 for David Bitterai. Those were the only two that were in double figures, and those were the only two that really contributed more than one basket. 3 for J.B. Barrack. 3 for Daniel Wingfield, 3 for Malachi Baker, 2 for Quincy Ray, and 2 for Kevin Whitener. Matt, the team numbers.
You got it. 6 3-pointers made by Spring Mills on the night, 5 by Martinsburg. The Bulldogs shot just 48% from the foul line. That was 11 of 23, while Spring Mills shot 69%. They went 9 for 13. I had Martinsburg +2 in rebounding, 29-27, +6 in turnovers, with 17 for Spring Mills to just 11 for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. There you go. Some numbers from this one as Martinsburg gets the win to improve to 14-3. Spring Mills now at 6-12. One final timeout. We come back and wrap up our Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial postgame as we name a player of the game and look ahead to our next broadcast and what is next for both of these teams. A 60-second break, then we return to Spring Mills where Martinsburg gets the victory over the Cardinals 62-41.
Hey, John, you can kill that camera too.
February means Valentine's, and Valentine's means sweet deals all month long at Apple Valley Chevy Toyota in Martinsburg. Get a 2020 Toyota Camry XSE with up to $4,050 off MSRP. How about a 2020 Toyota RAV4 TRD Off-Road with up to $1,960 off MSRP. Get up to $9,400 off MSRP on a 2020 Chevy Trax, or up to $9,800 off MSRP on a 2020 Chevy Equinox. Stop in to Apple Valley Chevy Toyota on Foxcroft Avenue in Martinsburg today and check out the sweet Valentine savings. Find out more online at applevalleytoyota.com or applevalleychevy.com, a part of the Miller Auto Group, where it's always a better deal. Price does not include tax, title tax, and processing fees. Savings based on Camry stock number 20T585, RAV4 stock number 20T521, Trax stock number 20C197, Equinox stock number 20C541. See dealer for details.
Anthony Smith. It's mine. Thought Smith did a very good job, not only scoring, knocked down a three, doesn't do that an awful lot. Did a good job really just kind of making things happen on his own. I thought Teddy Marshall had a good game as well, but I think on both ends of the court, I'm going with Anthony Smith.
Yeah, I'd throw it in, though, as well for Teddy Marshall. I'm there because, he had 14
he got a very hot.
half,
he got a very hot start.
And that got Martinsburg going in the right direction.
Isn't that the story of the season?
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of these guys from Martinsburg, they have a good second half, they have a good first half, but you rarely see anybody put together a complete game. And offensively for Anthony Smith, he didn't put together a complete game either.
No.
Just three in that second half, but I liked what he did in really every facet of the game today overall.
All right, there you go. Players of the game, if you will, the honorable mention to Teddy Marshall. Anthony Smith is the player of the game. Next up for these two teams, well, it'll be Spring Mills on a Tuesday of next week visiting Washington. Then on the 21st, they're scheduled to be home against Musselman. But don't forget, they still have a home matchup with Hedgesville that did not happen last week because of all of the rain, and there was a leak in the roof here, and it didn't allow them to get that game. I've yet to get any word on the makeup. We'll let you know as soon as we get that opportunity. Next up for Martinsburg, 2 games next week at Tuscarora down in Frederick, Maryland on Tuesday. By the way, that's 5:30 for the JV. 7 is the scheduled start time for the varsity, so we'll look to get on the air about 6:40. And then next Friday night at Hedgesville for the big rematch with the Eagles.
Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to both of those games. So really nice to always test your skills and test your overall record against teams from the area, but sometimes out of the state. We've seen that the last couple of years when they've gone to South Hagerstown. We saw it this year a little bit with Broad Fording Christian and a couple of those teams out of Northern Virginia. So it's always fun to kind of test your skills, especially at this point in the season, against some of the good teams from out of state.
We will be at Tuscarora High School next Tuesday. If you can't make the trip, then find the action here at Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. Thanks to each of our sponsors supporting our coverage of high school boys basketball featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. We thank you for joining us at each of our broadcast entities. Thanks to Brian Horner providing us some scoring updates. By the way, Hedgesville beat Musselman tonight 66-43 in the other big boys matchup around the EPAC tonight. And in the girls game earlier here, it was Martinsburg with a bucket with 4 seconds left, getting the win over Spring Mills 34-32. Thanks to Athletic Director Dan Comer, Principal Jason Kamlowski, all the staff and folks here at Spring Mills for their help and support with our broadcast coverage. Thanks to Eric Sterick at the studio, John Alderton, our TV10 cameraman, along with Matt Crawford. I'm Matt Miller reminding you, final in tonight's boys game, it is Martinsburg 62, Spring Mills 41 until Tuesday. So long, everyone. Okay. If he didn't hit 2 3-point.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Basketball featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's game has been brought to you by
Miller Honda of Winchester, the Marius Group at Ameriprise Financial, Parsons Ford, Smallwood Small Insurance, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, the Berkeley County Health Department, Luttrell LC Real Estate Attorney, Mike Folk for Governor, W. Harley Miller Systems, Carpet World, Bechtel Jewelers, Hagerstown Ford, the Brown Funeral Homes, WVU Medicine, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and NBA basketball, keep it tuned to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.